In this video, we will work on solving one-step linear equations. So to solve one-step linear equations, we will be balancing the equations using inverse operations. Solving linear equations is an important and fundamental skill in algebra. In algebra, we often presented with a problem where the answer is known, but part of the problem is missing. So we have to solve for the missing part of the problem. Say, for example, we're given here this problem expression: 4x plus 16 equals -4. So in this expression, our x here is the missing part, or the unknown. So we need to solve for x. So how are we going to do that? We will balance using inverse operation. Actually, there's another method here, which I introduced this one. You can group like terms. So you can just choose which one you're gonna use, which method you're gonna use, or you're more comfortable with. But in this video, I will use the balancing using inverse operation, this one. So for the problem 4x plus 16 equals -4, we are interested in solving the x here on the left. But the x here on the left is with another term which is not alike as 4x. 4x and 16 are not alike, so we need to get rid of 16 here. So all we have to do is we subtract, since 16 here is positive, so we subtract the same number, which is 16. So subtract 16. Whatever we subtract on one side, we will also, whatever we add or subtract on one side of the equation, we will also do to the other side of the equation. So we subtract 16 here, and then subtract 16 on the right. So that would be positive 16 here, and -16 here would cancel out. That would be equal to 0. So we will be left with 4x. 4x equals -4 minus -16, that is -20. So our equation would be 4x equals -20. Now we are only interested in solving the unknown, which is x. So all we have to do is we divide both expressions on the left and right by the number beside x, or what we call the coefficient of x, which is 4. So we divide by 4. So we are left with x here, and -20 divided by 4, that would be -5. On the other hand, this other method that I introduced here, you just have to group like terms. For x here doesn't have another term that is alike. So 16 and 14, -4 here are both constant, so they are alike. So you just have to group them together. You can move 16 here. Since 16 on the left is positive, moving it to the other side would change the sign from positive to negative. That's why I wrote here -16. And we will get the same answer. Okay, another example. What if we're given this problem? X plus 7 equals -5. So 7 here is, our unknown is x, and 7 here is together with our unknown x. We want to get rid of 7, so we subtract both sides by 7. So we get x equals negative 12 as our answer. And more examples here. Let's say 4 plus x equals 8. We need to get rid of 4 here, so we subtract 4 from both sides. So we get x equals 4. And then another one here, we're given 7 equals x plus 9. Then we want to get rid of 9 here, so we subtract both sides by negative 9. Then 7 minus 9 is negative 2. This one cancels out. This one too cancels out. So our x is equal to negative 2. Or you can write this as x equals negative 2. They're just the same. And another example is 5 equals 8 plus x. Again, we want to get rid of 8 here on the right, so we subtract 8 from both sides. This cancels out. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. Then we are left with x, and this is our answer. Or you can just write that as x equals negative 3. Okay, another example. Okay, what if we're given this problem x minus 5 equals 4? So 5 here is negative, so we will do the opposite. Instead of subtracting, we add, because we want to get rid of 5 here. So we add 5 on both sides, the left and right. So this cancels out. We'll be left with x, and on the right, that would be equal to 9. Another example. Negative 6 plus x equals negative 2. Again, we want to get rid of the 6 here, so we just add 6 on both sides. So be negative 6 plus 6 is 0. Then x, bring down x. Negative 2 plus 6 is equal to 4. So our answer is x equals 4. Another example. Negative 10 equals x minus 7. So we want to get rid of the 7 here. So we add 7 on both sides. So there will be negative 10 plus 7 is negative 3. Then negative 7 plus 7 is 0. Here is 0. So you'll be left with x. Or you can write this as x equals negative 3. And then another example. 5 equals negative 8 plus x. So we want to get rid of negative 8. So we add 8 on both sides of the equation. So that would become 5 plus 8, which is 13. And this one cancels out. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. We'll be left with x. So x is equal to 13. Okay. Another example. So we're given here 4x equals 20. And we are interested in solving the unknown, which is x. So all we have to do is divide both sides by the number beside x, which is 4, or the coefficient of x. So that would be 4 over 4. This is 1. And then 20 divided by 4 is 5. Another example is 5x equals 30. Negative 5x equals 30. Again, we divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is negative 5, and we get x equals negative 6. Then another example, 8x equals negative 24. So we divide both sides by 8. Then we get x equals 3 as our answer. More examples here. Okay, what if we're given x over 5 equals, this is x over 5 equals -3. Now what are we going to do? The coefficient of x here is 1/5. So to get rid of 1/5 here, 1 over 5, we multiply both sides by 5. Okay, so 5 times x over 5, 5 here cancels out. So we'll be left with x, and then -3 plus, times 5 is x equals 15. And another one, x over -7 equals -2. So we multiply, to get rid of -7 here, we multiply both sides by -7. So this cancels out. We'll be left with x, and -2 times -7 is just +14. Then another one, another example, our last example, would be this one, x over 8 equals 5. So we want to get rid of 8, so we multiply both sides by 8. This one. Then we get rid of 8 here, and we'll be left with x. We will multiply 8 times x over 8 will be 8 divided by 8 is 1. That's why we are left with x. Then 5 times 8 is equal to 40. I hope you understand everything. In this video, I wrote some practice problems here for you to work on. Try to solve each one of them. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, so you will get notifications of the next videos, next lessons, or future lessons.